Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Zvezda. It's a kit in 1/35 scale, which copies T-62. It's a Soviet main battle tank in a version from 1974 to 1975. And of course we have a commercial sample, so this one was bought by me, and as you can see the kit number is 3673. I'm not sure why they do not write it on the box art, but I can see it from the side. So first of all, I have to note the size of this box because, well, this is the 1/35 scale tank, so that's why, as you can see, the box is quite large. Also on the side here you'll find some safety information, some information about the kit, and it's written that we have here 399 parts and the assembled model will be 26.7 centimeters long. And here you can check also the paints and decals which are suggested, let's say, for this kit. Note that they were written in Zvezda and Tamiya paint numbers. Here we also have some other kits from the same brand, and we reviewed some of this, so you can find it easily on our YouTube channel. And if we turn it on the rear side, here you'll find also pictures of the finished model, short history note, and again the information about the kit. Of course, box is sealed, as you can see here, so I'm going to cut through with a sharp knife, and then we will check everything together in order to see what is actually supplied here and why this model will be an interesting choice for model build, of course. So just give me a second. I will open it and take out the box from this color printed sleeve. Okay. So just like any other Zvezda kit, this one has the plastic parts packed into this brown cardboard box, and I'm just going to open it right now and show you what we have inside. Ooh, the packaging is quite tight, as you can see. It's peeled up to the top, so that's why it will be necessary to ask seller to pack everything carefully, because otherwise you might end up with damaged screws or damaged parts. And of course you won't be able to check everything before the purchase, because as you remember the box is sealed. So yeah. Okay, let's open the plastic bag. And there are actually two plastic bags. So first one is dedicated to, as far as you can see, 4 or 5 sprues. And here we have the first one. They have quite an interesting smell, to be honest, so be happy that the camera does not translate or let's say communicate the smell. Nevertheless, here we have the plastic tracks, and as you can see, the both sides obviously, and also the track links on the tank, they are molded out of plastic, which is really good. We don't have the rubber or vinyl parts, and in this scale I think it matters because it will make it easier to paint these parts, and it will also look a bit more natural or realistic on your model. So we have here the track lengths. I was just checking how we have them, let's say, separated. So I guess it's separated by half. So one half goes to one side and another one to the different side. And here you can check the parts from the opposite side. Note that drive sprockets are assembled out of 2 halves, of course. And maybe I can give you a closer look at the track links and tracks. So external features are quite nice. Of course, we do not have the casting marks here. It would be strange to expect such details. But other than that, I think it's more than enough for a 1/35 scale armor kit. Next, we continue with another sprue. It's a sprue G. Here we have the fuel tank parts. We also have the machine gun, and also we have various stowage boxes and bins which can be placed on the tank. So everything looks good. Some parts are really tiny due to the scale maybe, and you have to be careful while handling them. And maybe some others would like to replace the turret gun for something different, but it will be up to you whether you would like to invest into such idea. Next, we continue with another sprue. So here we can zoom in a bit so that you can see more. So this is the, let's say, floor panel. This is the top panel which is molded together with a glacis plate, and here we have the rear top panel for the engine bay. So everything looks quite nice. Of course, we do not have PE parts included here. I can guess it straight away. So if you would like to have a really nice meshes in the engine bay area, it's better to get them from some aftermarket manufacturer. And here you can check the parts from the opposite side. So we are dealing here with the kit without interior, obviously. Zvezda does not produce such stuff, and at least for the tanks, let's put it this way. So that's why you will be able to focus on the external features, but it's really cool that all the hatches, for example here, they're molded separately and they can be opened on your vehicle, so it will be handy for some tricky diorama ideas. Next we continue with the sprue A. So here we have the side panels for the lower hull section. Also we have side skirt panels. This is the rear armor panels for the lower hull section, and also here we have some meshes and panels for the engine bay cover. So everything looks nice, but as I said, if you would like to see more, maybe it's worth investing into PE. So now, as you can hear, I'm trying to open the second plastic bag. It's also sealed, so I will have to tear through it. So just give me a moment. Okay, so here we have also 4 plastic sprues. And it should be quite easy and quick to take them out. Let's place this one aside. Okay, so first of all, and actually we have here the pair of sprues. So the sprue E is given in 2 pieces. I will show you only one because there is basically the same set of parts, and as you can guess, we have the drivetrain parts, meaning the road wheels, and also some parts for the fuel tanks and stowage bins, and everything looks fine. So we have here also suspension arms, so I guess you can use this feature for positioning the suspension arms in a different angle, but then at the same time we have the plastic track links, so maybe you have to think through how to arrange it, but it's a good opportunity to play a bit. Note that we have here the rubber sections pre-molded. Obviously there are no masking templates or masks included, so you have to cut everything with your own hands, or maybe use some circular template in order to properly paint all these parts. And if I flip it over here, you can check all of these parts from the opposite side. We have some guiding elements here, so it will be easy to align everything together and get the right fitment in your model. Okay. So now I just need to place these parts carefully aside, and here we continue with another plastic sprue. So here, in my opinion, the most interesting thing is that we have the towing cables molded as a plastic parts, so you don't have to search for anything. We also have some Pioneer tools here, log, of course, some parts for the turret, again some parts for the fuel drums. This is the separate hatch for the driver's compartment, and again everything looks fine. I don't have anything to say here. We will have to check the assembly manual in order to understand how all of this stuff goes together, but as you can see, there is no molding damage even on the thinnest parts, even though I know that some modelers, especially those who are experienced, they would like to replace the plastic towing cables with something different. But there is a bigger issue. So here I give you the last sprue. It's a sprue B, and I hope you will be able to guess what I'm talking about, because we have 2-piece main barrel. This is a complete no-no in my opinion for 1/35 scale model, so definitely think about getting the metal replacement. It will lift the overall appearance and, let's say, the level of your model build to completely different, I would say, appearance, so definitely consider it. But at the same time, we have for nicely molded or let's say detailed turret. As you can see, the custom surface looks convincing in my opinion. Here we also have the tarp, which should be assembled out of 2 parts. We also have some covers for the main gun, and here we have some hatches. Obviously it's a must-have for a 1/35 scale kit, but this is something I do not understand, to be honest. Especially in a kit which is released in 2023, so having a 2-piece barrel, it's not good. I complain about it in Tamiya, I complain about it in different brands, so this kit is not an exclusion from this rule. Okay, next we continue with some safety notes. I will not be even showing them, but I will show this. We have the plastic bag with a clear sprue and decals. So I will take them both out so that you can see what we are talking about here. So first of all, the clear plastic sprue. Here we have all the necessary clear parts for the tank. In my opinion, they look quite nice, but of course you have to get some masks or maybe use the liquid masks. It's up to you which approach you choose, but as you can see, the molding quality looks great. Okay, next we have the decals. It's not written where they are printed, but the overall quality looks quite fine, so I will zoom out so that you can see what we have here. We have the full number registry, we have also some red stars and this rectangular shapes, and of course this full number registry might be handy in order to copy any of the marking options you would like to, or maybe you can choose completely different stuff by getting some aftermarket decals, because I know there are some sets available on the market. Next, if you wonder which marking options are included here, so I'm laughing because we have here something interesting. So this marking guide, as usual for Zvezda, it is printed as a small separate poster in a color, as you can see, but we have only two displays of the markings. They differ with the number, but there is no note where they coming from. So as I said, it would be a good idea to get some references in order to play with the marking and also with the weathering on the model, because it's definitely a good subject on 1/35 scale. Next, we continue with assembly manual. So here we have completely, I would say, typical stuff for Zvezda. So for this, I will have to zoom out a bit so that you can see the whole brochure here. It's a black and white brochure. We have two assembly options. It differs with the covers on all clear parts, so it might be handy for lazy modelers. Jokes aside, I mean, it's a good option, so definitely think about it if you don't want to waste your time with the clear parts. Here we also have the parts map, and then assembly process starts surprisingly with the turret. As you can see, a lot of separate parts actually going into this section of the model. We assembled this two-piece barrel. I'm still not comprehending why we have this part here. Nevertheless, then we continue with the tarp, separate hatches, and of course you can open the hatches, even though as far as you can see here we do not have such an option proposed, but you have the separate hatches, let's say doors, so you can definitely position them open. Next we continue with the engine bay. So here everything will be closed. Again, think about aftermarket P, because this area of the tank will greatly benefit from the P. So everything continues with the lower hull section and suspension, meaning the torsion bars and suspension arms. Well, the bars are not included. We get just the suspension arms on the external sidewalls. And also we assemble road wheels, drive sprockets and tensioners. Then we continue with the tracks and start working on the side skirts, which are quite detailed, to be honest. And then we have, by the way, here note that the ruler is proposed as a assembly jig. Okay. Next we continue with the front mudguards, also some of the boxes, stowage boxes, which are assembled out of several parts. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to open those, so definitely consider this option, maybe it might be handy. Next we continue with the turret gun. It should be quite detailed for out-of-the-box version, but here we have also the rear fuel tanks, and also we have the different towing cables, as far as you can see, because here it's written for the option 2. Or it's not dependent on the marking option, it's dependent on the assembly option. And of course the last step is to install the turret into the place and add the machine gun onto the turret. It's written here that in total there are 27 steps, but obviously it will require a bit more if you would like to get a nice paint work and also weathering on this model. So of course this kit should be already available in any good model shop. And I would be happy to hear your opinion about such a release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.